Welcome back to our social science class. How are you, students? Hope you are safe at home. Now we are taking the second lesson from trade to power. In this lesson we already discussed about the coming of the Portuguese, and now it's time to discuss about the coming of the Dutch, English and the French. Students, now we can study about the Dutch period. The Dutch were another European force who reached India following the Portuguese. They had two trade centers in India. Both are in Kerala. They were Kochi and Kollam. An important contribution of the Dutch in Kerala was the compilation of a book named Hortus Malabaricus. Hortus Malabaricus was a book on the medicinal plants of Kerala. It was Van Reed, a Dutch governor, who initiated the compilation of this book. He completed this book with the help of Itti Achyutan Vaidhyar. And the Dutch period was a short period in the history of India. And in the year 1741, the Dutch fought a war with Martandavarma. Do you heard about Martandavarma? Who was he? Martandavarma was the king of Travancore. Martandavarma defeated the Dutch in this battle. The battle was known as the Battle of Kolachal. In the Battle of Kolachal of 1741, Martandavarma, the king of Travancore, defeated the Dutch. Thus ended the Dutch power in India. Earlier, we studied that the Portuguese were called by the natives as the Parangis. In the same way, the Dutch were called as Lentens. Now, we can move to the British period. Britishers came here for trade with India. For that purpose, they established a trading company in their country. It was the English East India Company. This English East India Company was formed in England in the year 1600. And this company was established for what purpose? To trade with the countries like India and China. The Portuguese and the Dutch had some trade centers in India. In the same way, the English had also some trade centers in India. They are Surat, Bombay, Calcutta and Madras. Surat in Gujarat was the first trade center of the company in India. And they established some other trade centers at Bombay, that is modern Mumbai, Kolkata. Modern Kolkata, at that time it was known as Calcutta, and Madras, modern Chennai. Now, it is time to discuss about the French period. Like the British East India Company, the French had one trading company in their country. That was the French East India Company. And this French East India Company was established in the year 1664. And they also came here for trade purpose. So they established some trade centers in India. They were at Pondicherry, that is modern Puducherry, Mahi and Karaikal. And this Pondicherry was their headquarters. Now, once again, we can discuss about the trade centers of these four European powers. First, the Portuguese came and they established trade centers at Goa, Daman and Diu. Then came the Dutch and established trade centers at Kochi and Kollam. And the English had their trade centers at Surat, Bombay, Calcutta and Madras. The French had their trade centers at Pondicherry, Mahi and Karaikal. And because of these trade purposes, there arose competition among these countries. These European countries competed for monopolizing trade with India. But the Portuguese and the Dutch were defeated at the very beginning of these competitions. And at last, two European powers remained here, and they were the French and the English. And they competed for trade centers in India for a long period. Their rivalry continued for a long period. The series of conflicts between the French and the English in South India was known as Carnatic Wars. Ultimately, the French were defeated. That means the British or the English became the ultimate supreme power in India. The French were defeated. Then the British gained power. After gaining the monopoly of trade, the English East India Company focused on the acquisition of power in India. At the beginning, they wanted to conquer Bengal. What were the factors that motivated the English East India Company to gain power in Bengal? It was happened because of two reasons or two factors. Which were the two factors? First one, the agricultural prosperity of Bengal. At that time, Bengal was a very rich country. And then the second factor was the convenient trade facilities. That means Bengal was situating very close to the sea, and one important port, Calcutta, was situating there. So, because of these two reasons, the English East India Company wanted to gain power first in Bengal. And the British defeated Siraj-ud-Dowlah, the Nawab of Bengal, in the Battle of Plassey in 1757. Battle of Plassey, it was the first battle fought between the British and an Indian ruler. It was happened in the year 1757, and in this battle the British defeated the Bengal Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowlah. And at last in 1764, by the Battle of Buxar, Bengal completely came under the company rule. Is it clear, students? Okay. Now we can move to the next part. That means after the capturing of Bengal by the British, they wanted to expand their power. And their main concentration was towards South India. Mysore was a powerful kingdom in South India at that time. It became a dominant power in the region during the reign of Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. That time, the ruler of Mysore was Hyder Ali, and after the death of Hyder Ali, his son Tipu Sultan became the ruler. Their domination extended even to the areas like Malabar. This interrupted the trade of the British in Malabar region. Britishers wanted to expand their trade relations to Malabar, but because of the power of Tipu Sultan, the Britishers couldn't establish control over Malabar. And the friendly relation that Tipu Sultan maintained with the French also added fuel to the animosity of the British. This made them conquer Mysore. Because of these two reasons, because of the interruption in the trade in Malabar and the friendly relations between Tipu and the French, the British wanted to conquer Mysore. Tipu fought bravely with the British and died fighting in the 4th Anglo-Mysore War. That means in between Tipu and the British there happened 4 wars, and in the last Anglo-Mysore war Tipu was died. And with the success of the British in Mysore war, Malabar and Coorg became under the control of the British rule. And subsequently, the company conquered the Marathas, who were a threat to the cotton trade of the British. Soon after, they conquered the princely states of Sindh, Punjab and Awadh. At the beginning, at first, they conquered Bengal, then some territories in South India like Mysore, Malabar, Coorg, etc. And later they conquered Marathas, Sindh, Punjab, Awadh regions. And after these conquests, Britishers introduced 2 policies in India. They introduced these 2 policies for expanding their territories. Which were these 2 policies? They were Doctrine of Lapse and Subsidiary Alliance. First, we can discuss about the Subsidiary Alliance. What was Subsidiary Alliance and who introduced it? The Subsidiary Alliance was introduced by Lord Wellesley. And what was this policy? Because of this policy, the princely states like Hyderabad, Tanjavur and Indore entered into this British Empire. Then what was this policy? The rulers who signed the subsidiary alliance were assured protection by the company against invasions and internal revolts. That means, when a princely state signed in the subsidiary alliance, this princely state was assured protection by the British East India Company against external invasions. And this was an important policy adopted by the British to subjugate some princely states. And because of this subsidiary alliance, they could easily subjugate some territories like Hyderabad, Tanjavur and Indore. And which was the next policy adopted by the British to subjugate the princely states? It was Doctrine of Lapse. And this Doctrine of Lapse was introduced by whom? It was introduced by Lord Dalhousie. As per this policy, when the ruler of a princely state died without a male heir, the British could annex the state with the British India. If the ruler of a princely state died without a male heir, that princely state could easily become part of the British India. That means the Britishers were not ready to accept the adopted son of that king. That adopted son was not given any power over his territory. And under this policy, some territories, some princely states were annexed by the British. Which were these states? Sambalpur, Satara, Udaipur, Jhansi and Nagpur were the states annexed by the British through the Doctrine of Lapse. I think now it is clear to you. Now, this chapter, that means the second lesson completed. In the next class, we can discuss about the next chapter, that is third lesson. Okay, now it's time to conclude our lesson. In this lesson, we already discussed various European countries, about various European countries like the Portuguese, the Dutch, the English and the French. They came here for trade British got victory over all the other European countries, and they introduced so many policies in India for